Let me introduce Vaishnavi to you. She's a senior analyst at QKS Group, which is a leading global advisory and research firm dedicated to empower and accelerate technology adoption in enterprises. Vaishnavi's current research is focused around emerging trends in event tech. And today she's going to be talking about the evolution of event technology with you guys. So over to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and good evening. At an event about events, planned by event marketers, and the attendees are event marketers again. And I am definitely not an event marketer, and coming here and listening to everyone speak, I have so many learnings and I have so much to take away. But I want to bring a little bit of an analyst perspective to you today. An analyst's job is to understand what a software technology vendor offers, why a technology is relevant, what is the need of a certain technology in a market, and how it's evolving, so that we can really justify telling end users, informing end users on our research and letting them know, okay, maybe this is something you should invest in or look into to enhance your own processes. So today, over the next 30 minutes, I'll try to walk you through the relevance of event technology. Why is it important? What is the need for that? I had to understand the end user, first of all, that is the event marketer, what you do, what an event brings to us. And with that, I try to understand why event technology is evolving the way it is, because it's so new. It's not like a CRM. A CRM, everyone's heard of it, everyone's used it, everyone has it, and it's the single source of truth for all customer data interactions and all of that. But what is event tech? I had to understand it from point zero level of knowledge. So I went into that, and then I started evaluating vendors based on criteria that I came up with, based on, again, what the event marketers need. And then after that, I looked into trends that marketers are looking into, which event technology vendors are adapting to, so that they can evolve with the market, evolve with you, with what they offer. And of course, there was a question on AI. This is going to be interesting to maybe understand what AI use cases are the most compelling now and what vendors are really beginning to offer for you. And finally, this is a little bit of a future prediction kind of a thing based on our own research and our own forward-looking vision for this market. What can you expect next from an event technology vendor if you do choose to lock in with one? So, first of all, I try to understand what is event marketing. You just plan an event, you promote it, you execute it. This is the execution part, by the way. And you're done, right? This is the engine. Sounds very simple. But every single person in this room who's sitting here knows that behind this is an extremely complex journey, a journey full of different stages, starting with strategy ideation and ending with what are we going to do next after everything is played out? And every single aspect, every single moving part has to be aligned. At every stage, if something fails, everything falls apart. This is the reality of the event life cycle and marketer experience. The marketer's experience is so difficult, so complex, and you have to adapt to a lot of changing scenarios on the day of the event, pre-event, post-event. You have so much accountability to give to a lot of your sponsors, exhibitors, your finance teams, and so many people in the organization. All this is a big headache that you take on, just so that the attendee, the one who discovers you, and then who becomes an advocate for you, has a very smooth process from the first stage to the last. So why? Why is this role so important, though, the role of an event marketer? Why does this even exist? Why do events even exist? I had to understand that by understanding that events are really a melting pot of a lot of buyer personas with at different stages of intent, at different stages of understanding and awareness of what you're trying to communicate in the first place. So an event happens, all of these people collect, whether it's virtual, physical, everything counts. And when they collect, they discuss, they interact with different elements in your event, they interact with different speakers, they look into the different materials that you offer to them. They develop that awareness about you, about whatever you're trying to communicate with them. And with that, you're actually nurturing them. You're pushing them along of course, the pipeline. I didn't want to use that word. But we are moving towards account-based marketing, to a more account-based revenue or well-rounded approach, because we are trying to get marketing and sales to be aligned. And this is accelerating opportunities, because you don't want opportunities to get stuck in your inbox. You want them to progress along a lot faster, and events really play a crucial role in that. Finally, an event is really a very, very reliable, contextual, and potent way to check if your message is really resonating with the audience you're trying to target. Whether it's qualitative feedback, you're having conversations with your attendees and you're trying to figure out, okay, did this messaging resonate with you? No, didn't resonate, we didn't like it, whatever. It's either qualitative or quantitative, with the forms they fill, the surveys they fill out, the question and answers and polls and interactions and engagement metrics that you're measuring. Everything will give you an idea of whether your marketing messaging is aligned with what you're looking for, or you'll have to tweak it. And then expand out a little. Over the periphery of this, you will see the enablers to all this, the enablers to creating a very good event, a perfect event even. The people, processes, and content is what all of you in this room are experts in. You know how to align your teams to execute events. The processes are down. You know which teams to communicate with, who are the vendors, who are the venues, everything, the planning part, I don't know. And then the content, of course. You know what kind of content has to go out on your event. Like for this event, clearly the event marketers had a vision and they knew what content they want to showcase. So you have that. But what is that one crucial enabler is a very, very reliable software platform vendor. And that is that vendor, that software platform vendor will give you the technology stack, will give you the data management part, as well as the governance, permissions, quality that you need to deliver repeatable events and do it digitally so that it's a lot more efficient. And these moving parts that I discussed, you have all this taken care of, because this is a simultaneous process. I know I show it as a journey. It is a journey for you. If you have to process it, it's better to do it linearly. But then all of this happening together is extremely overwhelming, and that's where technology, data, and governance and quality comes in through the right vendors, the software vendors. So usually the first question is not, okay, what are these great technology capabilities offered by software vendors? It's always, for an event marketer, the crucial question is, does this align with my business priorities? What are my business priorities as a marketer? 4 business priorities kept coming up whenever we did our research. These are the overarching themes, rather. And these priorities are essential for you guys, marketers, that technology vendors have really listened to, and I'll get into how. But firstly, there's event logistics and operational efficiency. This is crucial because it's not very glamorous, but if the logistics is not taken care of, at any point, the attendee journey can just break. And we don't want that. The attendee journey breaking is an event failing. So operational efficiency is crucial. A crucial priority. Keeping the customer journey at the center. Every marketer over here, I'm sure, has mapped out their customer journey, has that in their brains, know where their customer faces bottlenecks, know where they are dropping off, know how to re-engage them. They just have to now execute it, and that is their key priority when driving technology decisions. Fostering automation drives additional marketing. Automation is everywhere. Tools are everywhere. The problem is that they are fragmented, not connected. The data is not connected. Once that is done, automation is so effortless, and automation actually drives additional marketing. And what I mentioned about the customer journey and the drop-off points, you can actually re-engage them right. So that is another priority, as well as community as the strategic asset. This is something that has come up in the discussions as well. When you're building a community of be it end users or thought leaders or executives that you're interacting with, micro events that you're conducting, you're building communities. Because these community of people, they keep coming back to you and they keep re-engaging with you and providing you with a lot of insights about your own strategic direction in marketing. And this is very essential. This is your owned data, your community, and everything they communicate with you is your own data. And in the cookie apocalypse, we need that. We need that a lot. So very quickly, I just want to talk about our Spark Matrix assessment. This is where we actually rank vendors as per technology capabilities, and this is a list of those technology capabilities, but we also have customer impact criteria that we rate them on. We look at how they are working in the market, what breadth and depth use cases they have, technology vision they have. Are they able to cater to the multiple different types of events that you're looking for, and are they able to cater to your specific industry? Do they have enough proven impact in your specific type of business? Do they have a technology vision that aligns with where the market is going, with where a marketer is looking to take their platforms? And then finally, these ones to the extreme left, these large number of criteria, instead of explaining these to you, I would encourage you to really make these your own. This aligns with the journey that you are going on as marketers, and you have to understand your own journey as well. Where are you facing bottlenecks? Which are the points where you need support from a technology vendor the most? And then a vendor that has exceptional ratings or is able to demonstrate an exceptional capabilities to you in these points is the one you should go for. So if attendee engagement is your biggest pain point, you need that taken care of, go for the vendor that has the best attendee engagement, personalization, AI-related personalization, hyper-personalization capabilities, networking, matchmaking, and all those things. If it's planning and execution, go for the vendor who's giving you on-site capabilities, service partnerships, who's giving you hybrid capabilities. And yeah, same thing with sponsor exhibitor lead management. If that's your pain point, go for the vendor that demonstrates value for the sponsor and exhibitor through workflow specific to them. If it's analytics and insights, you know ROI, the dreaded word ROI. If that is your big problem area, go for a vendor that does this well. And finally, integration and interoperability. This technology doesn't operate in a silo. It operates with the rest of your marketing and revenue stack. So make sure you find a vendor who offers the rest of the stack or offers very strong integration with the rest of the stack so that this is not working as a silo and not working to burden you further, but rather to, like I mentioned, automate things a little bit easier for you. With that, I'll get into trends reshaping the event technology market. So after I understood the event marketer journey, events, the relevance of events, the relevance of the role of an event marketer, after I understood what business priorities you have, I started to understand what you are looking for and how that is shaping what technology vendors are doing. It's all shaped by what you want, what you decide. And so a lot of these technology vendors, what is this event about? This is also about to get feedback from you, what you're looking for in your software technology, so that when a developer or a product marketer or understands your pain points, they are able to relay that to their team, and the R&D efforts can get into that. So this is all a cycle that keeps going on. Everything is centered around you. So firstly, we've seen intelligent event experiences, localized, connected, and data-driven. The trend is that an event should be very, very relatable, local, and impactful to every attendee attending in person. But then also we want this to be very impactful for the global audience or the hybrid audience, or the audience that is not present but would like to view this content later on. What do you need to ensure smooth journey for the local audience? You need on-site support. You need, like what vendors offer, is services, equipment rentals. They offer on the day of show support services. And these really strengthen. If you don't have the budget, if you don't have the teams, you pick the right technology vendor who offers these support services or who offers partnerships with these support service providers so that you can really ensure smooth journey for your on-site attendees. Alongside that, you want the experience to be translatable for your global audience. So this entire content, imagine this is translated by AI into the voice, into the language of anybody attending from anywhere across the world, shared to them. So imagine the relevance of this, imagine the impact this would create. And this is what vendors are doing. They are aligning with what you are looking for. Events are as first-party data and intelligence environments. Every marketer understands that this is what is required to capture intent very strongly. Not just explicit intent that everybody is communicating with you through being present, through being interactive, through telling you straight up, like, I want a meeting with you. But also implicit intent that is implied from their behaviors based on how much they are interacting with everything that you have to offer them. That has to be implied and understood, and that is that really that dark funnel of marketing which nobody is going to communicate with you how much they are interested in something that you offer, but their behaviors will always point to it. So event technology feeds these behavioral signals into strategies. All of this is captured, and all of this is translated into strategies. From event engagement to business impact, events are strategic revenue and pipeline touchpoints. So like everyone has been mentioning, there is a need in the market for these sponsors and exhibitors. They want this ROI, and they want to know how their engagement has translated into the number of leads that you've generated for them. They want impact right in front of them. So software technology vendors are coming up with specific apps for them, specifically for them, so they can get a proper view of who is engaging with their content and what is going on, and who is engaging with their booth, and who's booking meetings with them. Everything in one place for them, everything understandable for them very easily. So they can get a very clear view of the impact that they are having. And then these leads can be automated into their lead nurturing workflow, pushed into their CRM, pushed into their map systems, so that they can get their ROI, which they rightfully deserve. Next is community-led engagement and always-on audiences. So when you're building communities, what sustains them? What do you think sustains them? Maybe relevance. Maybe they should be able to gel with each other. Hyper-personalized networking and matchmaking is what helps communities stay together. So platforms are now helping you as an attendee network better, because you're not just networking with the person sitting next to you. You're now networking with the person who's most aligned with your interests, with your history, with the organization, with the keywords that you use to describe yourself. So that when networking is intentional and networking is very personal, the communities that are built last longer. And when those communities last longer, you also re-engage them, always on audiences, with content on demand. We'll look into that a little bit more. AI and the future of event experiences. There was a very nice question on AI, and I think it's a little bit of a interesting topic because it can be polarizing. A lot of marketers might look at AI as, because there's so much AI-generated content out there, there is a lack of trust somewhere. Is this content even relevant to us? Is this content just a mashup of a lot of different things that doesn't make sense to us? So where is AI really helping marketers? It's helping marketers in repeatability and scalability of their events mostly. So instead of seeing it as just something that is like a threat, we see it as something that is like an assistant to the marketer. I'll walk you through this. So firstly, let's look towards AI-assisted event content and communication orchestration. I think it was already mentioned multiple times that event content and registration experiences as the very first touch point for an attendee, and AI can help you create content there and personalize things there. AI makes it a lot faster. And yes, that is one aspect of it, but there is also the content repurposing, which comes back after the entire cycle is completed. I'll get back to that. But with AI-powered attendee journey personalization, AI has actually become a concierge now. You don't have to hold any attendee's hand and point them to the right direction, point them to the right speaker, the right materials to download, what they need to look at. AI will do that for you. AI is context aware. AI knows your attendees. AI knows the history that they have, all the interactions that they've made with your brand. And with that, AI can actually hyper-personalize, suggest them speakers and agendas and suggest them things, and act as a conversational AI assistant. Literally, you can converse with AI and ask, okay, what do you think is relevant for me? And the AI will give you those personalized recommendations. Next, AI-driven attendee engagement. Follow along the journey. When the event is happening, AI helps with intelligent networking, which I just mentioned, and also session engagement intelligence. In an event like this, you can raise your hand and you can ask a question and you'll get the answer. But in a complex event with a hybrid setup or a digital setup, it's not so easy. So AI can be the event moderator over there and manage questions and answers and engagement, and so that the session is interactive, but not in a way that's overwhelming to the speaker, but rather well-structured for the attendee as well. And finally, AI is especially useful in event insights and feedback intelligence. Okay, so when an event is happening, there's a lot of engagement happening. Every single attendee is either interacting with the speaker, interacting with an exhibitor, sponsor, interacting with the help of CTA clicks, with the help of resource downloads. Polls are taken part of, questions asked, answers expected. And there is so much and so many elements. And then when the event is over, you need a concise view of that. You need a concise view of how impactful was your event for an attendee. So AI can summarize everything for you. AI can generate a very concise report of the important bullet points that you have. Automated feedback and engagement analysis, whatever surveys have been filled out. AI can generate a summary of that. AI can give you insights into what your attendee is thinking for a quick view and for a quick presentation even to your teams, so that you can communicate the value of the event to your teams. And it can give you predictive insight for future event planning. It can give you next best action recommendations through benchmarking how your event has gone with respect to how events usually go in the industry. Yes, this is mostly based on publicly available information at present, but AI can really strengthen that. Okay, my industry standards are here and my engagement is a lot better than theirs, or the CTA clicks are a lot lower. So what can I do to strategize to make things a little bit different next time? AI can surface those. Come back to content repurposing. The event is done. The community is made. Audience is engaged. Everyone goes home with metrics and measurement. How do you continue to maintain the impact of all this hard work that you've put in? AI can repurpose event content. The video that is taken here, the session attendance and everything, the content that is created in an event is what is repurposed. AI can create blogs with that. AI can create shareable snippets with event content, so that you can then remarket and repurpose this content and re-engage your attendees and re-engage even attendees that couldn't make it, people who signed up, people who dropped off. So they can also get insights into what went on. So you're prolonging the life cycle of your event and prolonging that ROI that you get from the event, essentially. AI really helps you in that. You as a marketer have an assistant with you at all times, and your attendee is also now having an assistant. You don't have to run behind them. They get the work done. AI gets the work done for you. Okay, so what can event leaders expect next? This is The last section, this is my favorite section because this is where I get to put in a little bit of my creativity and a little bit of the understanding of the mergers and acquisitions that I've seen in the space and the understanding of what certain software vendors are investing in, the R&D they are putting in, and also what has happened in adjacent markets that I can relate to this one because it just makes sense and it makes me excited to think that these things could happen in an event technology landscape. So we'll go with the top 3 for now. No agentic AI, we'll go with the top 3. Pre- and post-event engagement focus is leading to a capability consolidation. The capabilities that I mentioned are very specific to planning, attendee engagement, so on, so on. But what is happening now is when content is repurposed and amplified, like with AI-generated edits and captions and things like that, when it's amplified, it's ready to be published across social media. You see how social media marketing is coming in with event marketing? So there's a lot of overlaps that are happening now. So with that, you need a capability consolidation also in order to ensure this workflow is not broken anywhere. So with M&As, we are seeing that this on-demand engagement is extending the event life cycle. So video hubs and podcasts and your YouTube and all these platforms are now essential for the event marketer also to touch. And that's why vendors are introducing AI, are introducing capabilities that were earlier just limited to maybe the content editing part or the content part are coming into events now. So this is something very exciting. Next is hybrid and immersive experiences with XR. So following the MarTech and sales tech space, I've actually seen this in sales tech quite interestingly. You would think nothing exciting is happening in sales tech. It's not so. With sales tech, the digital sales room is where you can create a microsite where your sales teams can give access to a lot of content to the buying committee. It's a B2B thing. And then you can actually track what content they are engaging with. So interestingly, when one vendor started to do this, multiple vendors started to do this. They started to bring in AR technology. Wherever demos are required, wherever it is required to showcase a product in what it would look like if overlaid in the real world. So if this can happen in sales tech, this can happen in event tech as well, because there is potential for immersive demos in event technology. You want your ROI to be better? Sponsors and exhibitors can actually utilize this technology to showcase their booths and whatever they have to showcase better. And also this is good for those hybrid attendees because they can get a more immersive experience, not just passive streaming. They can get a lot more out of this. Finally, there's closer alignment between account-based marketing and event technology. So like I mentioned, account-based marketing is essential to surface a lot of the accounts that are not there in your system anywhere. They are out there looking for something similar. They are interested in what you have to offer based on what they're searching for. But they're not yet there in your system. So what some vendors are doing is they're tying this up with events. Events are then used to attract these audiences, and then with the event enriching the data about them, the data is fed back into the ABM systems, and then the cycle is completed so that that dark funnel of marketing is actually being brought into the light. And lead and account alerts and predictive engagement signals is where in ABM you usually have an idea based on how much intent signals an account is showing. These platforms use AI to do all this. Based on how much intent it's showing, you can actually surface the likelihood of which could be a hot lead, a warm lead, a cold lead. So maybe with event tech, we could also strengthen this. With event, this is also this offline intent aspect that event is taking care of. So yeah, these are the 3 exciting areas where I predict events could really take over, event technology could really take over. And with that, I think I'll close my talking points. Yeah, and I'm almost right on time. So yeah, open to any questions if you have any. Thank you.
This? Guys, any questions for Vaishnavi? I'll tell you what, getting an analyst and getting them to answer a question for you right here would be a super big, see, right there.
Let's connect after the event. Please walk up to me. I'll walk up to you because you are the reason I do this, the end users, to research about what your pain points are. So that is really, really informative to me. So let's do that. Yes, sorry.
Hi.
Hi.
So I handle the events as well as the digital events at EdgeVerve Infosys. So
Your name, sir?
Gautam.
Gautam?
Yes.
Hi,
So primarily what we have seen, the challenge specifically when it comes to the either the large format events, roundtables is perfectly fine because you have experts capturing the thought process of the delegates and attendees over there. What we have really lost in the past as well, there are certain nuances of discussion that happen with the expert and the delegate right now present over there or the attendee present over there in the event. That information doesn't get captured in the CRM. Is there something that you guys are doing to capture that? Because that's like dark. We have to connect with the sales, whatever he remembers that he keys into the CRM, and we have to go by that. Many times there are certain aspects that are left out, and that is where we miss the whole journey.
Yeah, I understand. Great question, Gautam. So this is what I touched upon with AI. Let me just go back really quickly, if I can. No? Okay. So, okay. Because everything is digitally tracked, every attendee's interaction with every single speaker session, every element that is shared is tracked. So you can really clearly see what they are engaging with, who they are talking to, who they are networking with. Every attendee's profile is available to you. So what software vendors are doing is they're also giving account-based views now. So it's not just you're getting a snapshot of what every attendee is doing, how much they are engaging with you. You're also getting who is related to them in their organization, who else is involved. And this can be literally, you get that pop-up with AI, like this attendee is the most engaged, this attendee has done the most downloads, and that clearly shows intent. With sales tech, how do you see who is your champion? You see it by the one who's interacting with you the most, right? Translate that here, translate everything everywhere. It's the same thing. The one who's engaging the most, the one who is measurably bringing a lot of questions to you, maybe a lot of questions to the speaker, a lot of poll responses, who's involved in every single survey, who's involved in the event, is most probably very interested, and those can be activated in the back end easily. So all these systems are connected. And that's how you can do that. Hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does. But my question was very specific to the conversation that is happening at the booth.
Okay.
So how, because there is a lot of information that is shared while the conversation is happening. So would like to understand that get missed. Nobody captures that. It's just the memory of the sales expert who is present at the booth. He might convey to you, and it's on his own when you reach out to him. Yeah, I had a discussion. I remember. Yeah, this is what it was discussed. He seems to be interested. How much interested?
Yeah.
That is never captured. How do you capture that?
I see your point. So in an on-site event, when you're attending a booth that is in person, the conversations, you cannot record every single conversation, right? But if you have the app in front of you, you can quickly note down points that have happened. In a digital event or in a predominantly hybrid kind of a setup, it's a lot easier because these meetings are happening digitally. There's a recording of the meeting. So yes, there is still a gap there, but that's not necessarily a gap because you still have access to the lead. You still know how engaged they were with you, and you can set up follow-ups with them immediately. There has to be no time. There needn't be any time gap. There needn't be any delay. So Yes, there are some differences in the type of events you're hosting, right? And because with on-site, there's more interaction, there's more of a personal conversations happening. Digitally, it's more measured, but that is increasing. That gap is getting bridged quite quickly is what we are seeing. Yeah, hope that helps.